My husband. Do you know what Yelsa's husband did for her the other day? Yo, it was so thoughtful of him. He makes such a great husband, hey? So, the other day, he bought her a new makeup bag. Full, everything. Makeup brushes, the palettes, lipsticks, foundation. Yo! I know that thing must have been expensive. How thoughtful of him. I mean, he knows how much makeup she puts on and she does it for work and it's for her videos. Hi, babe. Ugh, my brushes are so old. I have to wash these things, but I'm like washing them for the 20th time. Maybe I need new brushes, ne? New brushes wouldn't hurt.
I'm gonna try. Work till I die. I'm gonna fail and get up, 'cause I'm not giving up on my dream.
Hey gorgeous, and welcome to my channel. I'm Kopane Shimage, and this is How I Do Things, the show where you send me your questions and I'll let you know how I would do things, and I can take it as entertainment, use it as advice, take it, don't take it, use it, don't use it at all, darlings. Listen, do what you will with it. Do you know why? Because me, egg. No professional whatsoever. I'm just letting you know what I would do if I was in your shoes. Hunties, so I've got this question of what actually makes a good boyfriend or a good man or a good husband. Like, how do you know this guy's actually worth the effort? If the things that you are being petty about, are you truly being petty about them, or is this worth dumping him on? Men come with their flaws, right? He comes with these flaws. Man never opens the door for me. That guy has never bought me flowers. All of those things, are they really worth it? Do they count in making a good man? I'll tell you something. I did my research, because your girl's on a P's and a Q's. She always does her research before all of her videos, just in case you're wondering where I get all my information. Always do my research. Always try and expand my thinking, gather all my sources to make sure I give you the best, right? So when it's time for me to spill the tea, here I am with the best of the best. Yes? So I go on, I look. What do I find? A man must be chivalrous. He must open the door for her, spoil you. Listen here, you can find a man who does all of those things and he still is abusive, physically or emotionally. So I'm not going to talk about any of those things. Mr. Adventurous, Mr. Opens your door, Mr. Buys you flowers, can still be nonsense. So all of these things that I'm finding, which is advice for men, and I'm just like, this is terrible. Who said this is what we want as women? Okay, so here's my list of things that I think make a good man. A man to be with, a man to fight for, and a man that you can work around certain issues with, right? A man that you can fight for, be with. You shouldn't let go of this guy. Good stock, good stock. Here are my 8 things personally, what I think. You let me know in the comments down below if I missed anything, if you agree with anything, or if you're just like, sis, we need these things. Number 1, what I saw a lot was a chivalrous man, a man who knows how to spoil you, a man who knows how to take charge and have adventures and take you out on dates and give you a lot of memories. That's cute. How cute. Sharp. It's not enough. That does not make a man. Because same guy who spoils you, same guy who takes you out a lot, same guy who opens the door for you can be extremely abusive, emotionally and physically. And just looking for a guy who does that and saying, oh, but this guy, oh, but he gives me things. It's not going to make a good boyfriend. It's not going to make a good man. It's not going to make a good husband. Personally, one of the things that have always been tops for me is a man's desire to provide. And when I mean provide, I'm not just talking about money, but a desire to provide for me mentally, physically, and emotionally as well. So yes, the desire to provide is the most important. And I'll tell you why I say desire and not actually pure money, cash in the hands. I grew up in a house with entrepreneurs, right? And I've been around entrepreneurs all the time. I'm an entrepreneur myself. And I know how it's up and down. And I know how the job market is right now. When a man loses his desire to provide for his wife or his girlfriend, or want to just be there and show up, that's when you know something's wrong, and it could be an emotional thing. But that desire, as long as it's in there, that this man wants to make money, not because he wants to be a millionaire or because he wants to build his profile, but because he has a dream to buy you a house, or he has a dream to, travel with you, or to make your dreams come true. I think that is the most sexiest thing that you can find in a man, that desire to just give to you, to give, right? And to give meaningfully. That's what I think providing is, to give meaningfully. So if you have a man who has that desire, whether he's able to or not, but that desire is deep set and it drives him, do not let that man go, because there will come a time when he can and he will give you all the desires of your heart. If you can find a man like that, girl, never let him go. Number 2, obvious, is that people want a gentle brother, a gentleman. And what I genuinely think a gentleman is a man who has respect and consideration. Let's talk about consideration. What is consideration? Consideration is, my boys want to go out, let me just check if my girl's fine with it. It's just being considerate, in that just thinking of a person at the back of your mind when you're making decisions. Just to say that, okay, fine, there's a job opportunity in Cape Town and we live in Johannesburg. Let me go talk to my wife about it before I make any decisions. Because your life is changing when my life changes. There's an opportunity for us to go out tonight. My wife, do you want to go out? Or my girlfriend, do you want to go out? That's consideration. When a person doesn't forget about you in their decisions. Because people do. All of a sudden, jiggy, this man has made decisions for the both of you and you're just like, why didn't you consider me in your decision? You just made a decision for the two of us. You didn't consider me. I love respect and consideration, because the person's always in the back of your head. You're always thinking about the person. You're not thinking about yourself alone. You're thinking about how is this going to affect my person, my personal person, even if it's just as a girlfriend. When you're considered as a girlfriend, you're just like, I am so important to this man I did not know. That's what you want. And obviously respect is respect for your emotions, respect for you mentally, that this before we do this, I just wanted to tell you, because I just want to make sure you're good with this. And that's what I like. That's what respect is. That a person doesn't want to withdraw from you or disadvantage you or make you feel bad with every sphere of who you are, mentally, physically, and emotionally, that they don't have a negative impact on you. That's what respect and consideration is. So when you think about a gentleman, right? A gentleman, yes, he'll open your door. Yes, he'll carry your heavy things for you because you're just like, let me help you. That's consideration. Number 3 is communication and empathy. These are some of the hardest things to get out of men, but they are really, really important, okay? It's really hard to get a good communicator out of a man. It really is. But sometimes you're fortunate enough to find a very good communicator, yes. But other times you meet a person and it just takes time for you to just get on each other's level. So while you're trying to establish whether a person is a good communicator and whether he's empathetic, what you should look for is the willingness to understand. If this person genuinely just wants to, isn't a good communicator, like he's just terrible at saying things and he's not great at listening, but you can tell that he gets frustrated because all he wants to do is just understand. And that's what happens. You'll find man is the worst communicator, but he gets so frustrated and so touched because he's just like, I just want to understand. That's what you look for. Because if a person has that willingness to understand you, then they'll work on their communication and they'll work on empathy. I think men struggle with empathy. What is empathy? Sympathy is seeing somebody and saying, oh, I'm sorry for what you're going through. But empathy is you being able to put yourself in someone else's shoes and feel what they are feeling. And I think it's something that men genuinely just struggle with. Women find it really easy, but men need to catch up. And if you're in a relationship with someone who wants to understand you, then they'll take the time to understand what level of empathy do you need from me. And this is not about having a pity party, because men are just like, I'm not going to join you in your tears of sorrow. No, we move on. But at the same time, you just want somebody who's just like, understand, let's do this, let's go, I'll help you. Let me know if I'm wrong here, all right? Just because a man is not a good communicator now, at the beginning of your relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, doesn't mean he can't become one. If understanding is there, empathy and communication can be built. Number 4 is obvious, equal values in life. You need to be with a person who has a good level of values. Like if a person does not value something as simple as family and you value family, it becomes very hard. You guys are going to clash. Because you will think it's extremely important for me to see my family on a regular basis because that family connection is important. Where him, on the other hand, he's just like, meh, don't really see why family is important. It becomes very difficult if your values don't match. If you're a person who likes to pray all the time and he does not value prayer, then it becomes very difficult for you to do it and he's not doing it, okay? And this doesn't mean that you have to be on the same level with God because your relationship and your path may be different to his. But if he can see that you value it and it's important to you and he'll value it because you value it and respect your values, that's what's important. A person who can respect your values and you can understand his values. That's where we're coming from. But there's clashes. If he cannot respect your values and you cannot respect his values, he's going to clash like this for a very long time. For me, that's like a red flag. Values don't do this. I'm out. Because we're going to argue all the time. Why am I here? Why? Why? I don't know. For personally, I just find that if I'm with a person who our values just all the time, every single time. If values aren't here, hey babes, for me, red flag. But if they're there, he's a keeper. He is a keeper. Number 5, slightly different. Don't know if it's on your list, but it's on mine, is self-respect. The brother must respect himself and his temple, right? This body is the temple, right? And to respect yourself means that he will hold himself to a high standard. He is God's beautiful creation and he needs to respect the creation that he is. You know, as women, men expect us to look good, look after ourselves, you know, just bring it from the self-respect point of view. Smell mnandi. Personal presentation is important. And personal hygiene, all of those things, right? Self-respect, knowing that I'm going to have the best job I can possibly have. I'm going to take care of myself. I think a man should also have that about himself. I can't be with a slob. I need a person who can respect himself because how you respect yourself will be a symbol of how you respect me. And if your self-respect is low, and I'm not talking about self-image or self-confidence, no, self-respect, that there are certain things that, nah, I'll never do that. I'm not going to do that because that's a sign of not respecting thyself. Number 6 is a man who understands that he is just a man. He is not a God, but there is a God. I love that. I love that. I am just a man. And it's understanding how small we are in this world and how big our God is, but at the same time understanding that we are so important that Jesus would die for just us. So it's this balance. And it's a humility thing that I'm just a man. I'm just the small. In the greater scheme of things, God, me, tiny. God, massive. And it's just a thing. It's a humility thing. And this just leads to number 7, which is that he's not perfect. A person who's able to understand that he has his own flaws is very, very amazing. It's very amazing that you are not perfect. And what that means is that you still need to work on yourself. That you can be wrong. That there are things that you do not get right sometimes, that you need to work on, that you need to think about, that maybe in the situation you could have done better. So important. And sometimes it takes a bit of work and massaging to get a man there because egos are this big with guys. I'm not fitting in the ego. That's how big the ego is. So, but to have a man who can just say, yeah, no, here, I need to work on myself. That is so sexy for me. A man who knows how he can work on himself. And finally, the biggest one, number 8, is a man who loves you. You can tell when a man just loves you. He may not be the greatest communicator, but he loves you and he just wants to make you happy. Ultimately, you just need a man who just wants to make you happy. It's like, you know what, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to talk to you. I don't know what you want, but I just want to make you happy. That's it. A man who's just like, I'm sticking around. Wherever you are, I want to be. And that ultimately can fix everything. Bad communication. It can fix that he's just a slob. It can fix everything that I've listed here. As long as this man, his deepest desire is to love you and to make you happy, we can work on everything else, babes. We can work. It's okay. Come here. Give me a hug. We can work through things. As long as there's love as the foundation. All right, my honeys, that is it. That is all that I have for you on my list. I hope that you enjoyed that one. Honestly, I kept on looking at these lists and I was just like, surely this is not what blogs are telling men to do. This is misguidance. Okay? So let's start in the comment section as ladies and just share what you find important in a man and what makes you believe that this is a good guy, I'm going to keep him. Let me know in the comment section down below. Give this video a very big thumbs up if you liked it, because the more thumbs up this girl gets, the bigger this channel grows, the more of our sisters we get to connect with all around the world. Thank you so much for your support, and thank you so much for commenting, subscribing, and for liking my videos. Until next time, gorgeous, I'm Kopana, and this is how I do things. Hey gorgeous, thank you so much for watching, and thank you for making it right until the end. Now, if you have not subscribed to my channel, click on this button right here, and please make sure that you continue to binge watch. Head over to my website www.kopanashimage.com to find out more about joining the gorgeous gang and getting my journal, her daily success journal. Until later, toodles.